Hello. I hope everybody's doing well tonight. I see there's something in the camera. There we go. All right. Welcome to the 7 o'clock live art night with me. Hope everybody had a great day today. Good dinners all around. So all of the things that you need is in the description in this video. I'm gonna rattle off what you need, but you can also look at the description if you're just now joining us, so that you can go get all the supplies you need. So here we go. You're gonna need a book you don't want, or one you was gonna give away you don't really care about. Most people care about books, but there's plenty of them out there, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, so this book was my husband's. He didn't want it, so I'm using that. A white paper. You need a white paper. A fabric or lace is optional. I used lace on my example. This is what you're making tonight. We are going to learn how to make a journal. So what this is a journal slash put little things in it. You can make these little pockets here to add things into it, which I thought is really cool. And then you're going to learn how to put little tabs on your, this is just a little decoration that I did. You can make your own decoration if you would like. And these are little tabs that I made to add onto your pages so you know where to turn to. So this is what we're doing. Now, I didn't get to all the pages. I didn't decorate all the pages. But that's what you're doing, is a journal. Okay, so let me continue. One book you don't want. Fabric or lace is optional. However, I did use lace on mine. You're going to need string or yarn. That, if you don't have lace, you can use for this also. That's why I say string or yarn. You can also use it for the tabs, and I'll show you my actual art journal in a moment to show you exactly what I mean. Now, there's no way we will actually be able to get done with this entire journal tonight. No possible way. But you could start on it, and we'll give you a project that you could do throughout the months or however long that we are stuck inside. City Museum has all the supplies. Yay, City Museum. And then, so anyway, you're going to need string or yarn, tape or hot glue or both, or a stapler. Now, if you don't have any yarn and you don't have any string or lace or anything like that, you can use the hot glue to add the cover that we're going to make. So let's see. Then you're going to need, I said tape, hot glue, or both, or a stapler. You're also going to need a hairdryer. That's important. You're definitely going to need the hairdryer because that's what we use with the pages. So hairdryer, markers or colored pencils, magazine that you can cut, which, by the way, I did not get one of those. Hold on just a moment. I forgot my magazine. And you can grab a couple if you would like. If you need more than one, you can grab a couple of them. Hope everybody can still hear me. You can grab a couple of them if you need, just in case you don't find what you want in one of them. So a couple magazines. And then you're going to need at least, you want to make sure that your cardboard that you have is big enough to go around your book. So you want to make sure that it's going to go around it, okay? It looks like that's about the right size. I sure hope so anyway. So you're going to need a cardboard big enough for that. I said a 12 by 12 just in case somebody may have a bigger book than what I have. And then you're going to need a hole punch. This is a leather punch. It works just as good. I bought this at Harbor Freight. Love it. Only like 12 bucks. You're going to need an awl, or if you don't have one of those, this is an awl. It's also for leather making. You can stab it into the leather and it creates holes and stuff like that. Or anything to make holes into your book, okay? Then also, maybe an ice pick would work. Then also scissors. You're going to have scissors, a pencil, always a pencil just in case, and paint. Now, in the original post that we did on the Facebook page, I had said to use, I think it was brown, white, and I want to say yellow, but as I went through the project, I modified it a little bit, and just multiple colors, like besides the brown, white, and yellow, multiple colors, because we're going to need those. And then just a variety. And then the string, which is here, and I think that's about it. So I hope everybody can gather those things, and I'll say it one more time, okay? A book you don't want, white paper, fabric or lace, which is optional, string or yarn, tape or hot glue or both, or a stapler. You're definitely going to need I would say you're definitely going to need tape and maybe hot glue. Or a stapler. Hair dryer, definitely a hair dryer. That has to be had. Markers or colored pencils. Magazine you can cut. At least a 12 by 12 piece of cardboard, or a piece of cardboard that's going to wrap around your book, whatever size your book is. Hole punch and anything to make holes, maybe an ice pick if that's all you have, or an awl, which is a whole device, makes holes. Okay, and then scissors and paint of multiple colors. You need white, definite brown, definite yellow, and then a variety of different colors. Okay, so now that we've got all that, I'm hoping everybody can gather those. Maybe if you can't gather them right away as we go and I move on to each step, maybe you can grab them if you need to. All right, so let me start with this. This is my original book, and this is what made me want to do this project. So originally, for some reason, I have a problem with for some reason, I cannot draw on a blank journal. I've bought them before, they just sit there, and for some reason, I don't know why, but I just can't do it. So I had this book. It's actually an old, well, it's all the pages are colored. It's actually an old shorthand book. So I'm going to show you what it looks like. It's a shorthand book. I thought it looked kind of cool. And so what I did was, one day, I was messing around with it, and I didn't like the cover on it. I was like, oh, you know, it'd be really cool if I ripped off the cover. So I ripped the cover off, half the book, because it was too big, and then put this on here and made this cover, and then I started drawing in it. Then I realized that you couldn't really see my drawings too much, so I decided to watercolor the pages of this book. And it seriously turned out really cool. The only problem I had with watercoloring the pages, if I wanted to paint over it, there was an issue with that because the watercolor was bleeding through my paint. So hopefully this other way we do it will be okay. But anyway, this is my book, and each time I would do a different page, I would glue a little bit of something to my book. And before I realized it, the book just started getting cooler and cooler. So this is what yours can look like if you take the time to do it. Now, I'm not actually finished with my book yet. I still have a lot of art to do in it, but I have some that's in here. So this is some of my pages, and so this is one of my all-time favorite pieces of art I have ever done. And so I want to show you all how to make something similar to it. So what we're going to start off with is the book that you grabbed. And so the book that you grabbed, you're going to take, I already ripped off part of the cover, but what you're going to do is you're going to rip off the cover and the back, okay? And just rip that off. And then you can put that aside, You should maybe have like a little trash bag handy just in case. You can just throw that in there. Here. So put that aside. All right, and then next, you're going to take your book, because this is extremely thick, all right? You do not want an extremely thick book, because, I mean, I guess if you want to, you can, but it's going to take a lot of time, and it's going to be extremely hard to punch these holes. So I say cut your book in half, because if you do anything like this, if you decide you want to do something like this with your book pages, that your book will get thicker as you go, because these kind of make your book, you know, fatten up. Okay, so I'm going to tear my book. I'm gonna do a small one this time. So I'm gonna, well, sometimes you can tear it, sometimes you can't. If you can't tear it, grab your scissors, and that's okay. And you're gonna just start cutting. You want to try to not cut the pages. It's kind of hard to do. Sometimes if you do cut a page, it's okay. You can just rip that page out. It's fine. Is everybody following along? Can I have hearts if you are? Okay. All right. Now I'm going to put this aside. Now I've got my book that I tore apart. The scissors here. Okay. And then once you have your book torn apart, sorry, I'm trying to get to my post so I can see comments. Turn this down. Okay. All right, now once you have your book torn apart, the next step is, well, I would say we can make the cover, but I think maybe we can wait to make the cover. No, maybe we'll make the cover now. Yeah, we'll make the cover now. So you want to take cardboard, and you're going to measure your book, and basically, you're just going to, your cardboard, if you do it the right way, the lines in the cardboard right there, it's okay. It's okay, because it's going to be a new piece of something, and that's awesome. It's okay if you ripped your book. Okay, so you're going to take your cardboard, and see, you want the cardboard where the lines are going like this, because it makes it easier to fold. If you do it the other way, what's going to happen is it's going to wrinkle, and it's not going to fold like a regular binding on a book. So you're going to take that, and you're going to put your book in there, and you're going to figure out where you want to fold it at. I folded mine at the wrong spot, so now I got to do it over. Just put your book in the middle, kind of, right? And then you're just going to take it and fold it. You see that? Take it, hold it tight, and fold it, right? And then you're going to do that again. So it should look like this. You should hold it tight enough. It should look like this. And you should have a nice little kind of bind right there. Now mine's kind of small. And maybe I should do a thicker book. I have the other piece. I'll do the thicker one. Okay. It wasn't holding proper for me, so let's do over. Okay. Binding like that. There we go. All right. Now you got that, right? Bindings there. Now what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to cut your cover. You want to cut your cover. So you're going to take your pencil. Now this little thing right here on mine was already on the cardboard, and I kind of like that. So I'm thinking maybe to protect the book. Well, no, because if I want my tabs, I don't want that on there. But it would be pretty cool. You've seen how books flip over like that? Okay, so I'm going to cut that off, but I'm going to trace along it. So I know where to cut. Okay, because I have extra. And then I'm going to cut that off. All right. then, you know, I think that the top of it is too big. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to push my book down to the edge, right there, to the edge of it. Kind of want it overlapping just a little bit, all right? So like this. Can you see that? And leave just a little space. And then you're going to open it back up. And then you're going to draw a line a little bit above the top of it, and I'll show you what I mean by that. See that? Can you see that line right there? And then bring that over to the other side. Just kind of free-handed. It'll be all right. Just keep it straight. There we go. And if it's not straight when you're done, it's okay. It'll make it look kind of rugged, and that's all right. Okay, and then you're going to want to take that off, and you're going to cut this. Hi, Candace. All right. Set that aside. Okay, so now we have our little makeshift cover, cardboard cover for our book. Okay. Next, you're gonna mark where you want your holes for your book. If you don't have string or yarn or anything, it's fine, but you need to, instead of punching holes, you're going to hot glue right here, and then you're just going to fold that over and hold it until it dries, if you don't have string or yarn. If you do have string or yarn or lace, which I'm going to use lace today, then we're going to poke holes, which is what we're going to do. So I'm going to mark where I want to punch my holes in this. So just mark where you want to punch your holes. You could do 2, you don't have to do 3, it's up to you. But I'm doing 3. I'm going to do 3. Okay, and once you get your holes marked, then you're going to punch them out. Now, my hole punch can reach one, but not the other in the middle. So, hey, this might need to be a little bigger. Leather punches are great for punching holes, just so you all know. Okay. And then on this side, you're also going to need it on the other side too. Now, since I can't reach this one with my hole punch, also make sure you protect your table when you're poking holes, because you'll jab it. You don't want to do that. Okay, so poke it straight through. And I have the awl, so I'm using that. But you can use anything sharp to poke your holes through your cardboard. Okay. Now that that's done, let's put it back up there and see what it looks like. I think I should be all right. Okay, now the tricky part is you're going to take this and you're going to put marks on your book so you know where to start your holes. So mark where you just punched. You stick your book in your cardboard and you mark where you just punched. And then that's where you're going to start doing, this is where you're going to start doing your holes. And you could do that on the other side as well if you would like. We got that even. I hope everybody's following along okay. All right, so I got it on both sides now. Now I know where to poke the holes. Okay, so then you could set this part aside. And here's the tricky part. Now I have my awl. You can use anything to poke a hole, okay? If you're doing 2, that's fine too, then your hole punch would probably work. So I'm just going to take my pointy thing and start poking holes. And this takes a while, so maybe I should have done a thinner book. Sometimes what you do just don't always work, and you have to try to figure it out. So sometimes when I'm doing this, it don't necessarily work how I want it to. If you rip a page, it's okay. Just rip it out if you mess it up. It's no bigs. Poke holes. I think maybe I used the wrong book. This one's a little thick. Okay. See what I'm doing? Show you what I'm doing. Put your fingers on the sides of the holes when you're poking. Just be careful you don't poke yourself. But it makes it a little easier. Can you see the holes in there? All right. Or if you have a hole punch, you can also use a hole punch if you do 2 holes. Which, for the sake of this, it might be easier for me to do 2 holes instead of the 3. But if you have time on your hands, you can do 3. All right. Move on to the next. Now, if you lose your track of your space or whatever, you can always just go back in, put little dots on there, open it back up, and now you know where to start again. So, open your book, hole punch. Nope, that's not going to work now. See, I'm glad I'm figuring it out. So just start. It's trial and error. Okay. Poke the holes. What did everybody have for dinner tonight? I had pizza. Okay. There we go. Sometimes you'll get the books too thick. It'll be too thick and you'll have to release some of the pages and do over. So that's what I'm finding my problem is. I'm grabbing too many pages and it's too thick. So 2 or 3 pages at a time. It should go relatively quickly. If you just kind of try to take it easy. Mac and cheese, yummy. Okay. Here. This is kind of an in-depth project. Okay. How much more? I got a lot more to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lessen this book because this would take me forever if I sit and do all these at once. I'm going to cut this book in 2 again because we have a lot of steps to do and not a whole ton of time. Okay. There we go. Now I'm going to set that aside. Okay. Find where I was. Alright, I'm getting there. Getting there for sure. Poke more holes. Now I'm doing 2 holes. In the beginning I said you could do 3 and you can do 3. But I realized with teaching this that 3... was gonna take a while. When I did this one, I was trying to do time management, but didn't realize exactly how long that was gonna take me. Okay, what's this? Here. Alright. How's everybody doing with their hole punching situation? You know, a pen would probably work too. If you use just a couple pages at a time, an ink pen or anything would probably work. Okay. That. And then the trick is getting your thread or your yarn or your lace through the holes, which you can use a pencil or anything to poke it through. I'm going to try to use the awl. So does everybody see what I'm doing? Poking holes in it all the way through. Alright, I'm almost done with mine. I don't know how thick of a book you all picked. But depending on how thick you picked, it might take you a while. Okay. I wish I had one of those shorthand journals again, because that was a lot of fun. Okay. Poke more holes, and I'm almost done with my holes. If there's anybody that needs me to slow down, please let me know in the comments so I can slow down. Mine is vintage. Okay, I have this thing for vintage. I love vintage tools. I like collecting them. I used to go a lot of times when we used to have the Peevely Flea Market. I used to go there and look at all the extremely old wooden tools, and I would buy some on occasion. I also have this thing about oil cans. I like those old vintage oil cans. Oh, I am creating this this journal where you can have pouches to stick your little items in, your little keepsakes or recipes or a little whatever you want to put in the book. And then also we're like making some pages so you can draw and do things on them. But what I was saying was originally what gave me this idea was my personal journal. It's one of my most favorite things. Oh, Peevely was fun, wasn't it? This is one of my most favorite pieces of art that I've ever created, and it's my handmade by accident journal. So it was an accident that I made it, how it turned out, but sometimes I feel like those are the best pieces of art when they're by accident. So that's how I came up with this project. And pardon me, I need a drink of water. Okay. So once you have all your holes poked in it, the next step is, I think while we have it, before we have the cover on it, I think maybe we should go ahead and tape some of the pages together because it'll be easier like that. Or staple them or whatever you have. Okay, so you can use hot glue, staples, or tape for this part of the project, okay? So what you're going to do is, I think what I want to do is like this one. I have like one or two of the, well, no, is this the same? Yeah, I have like one or two pages. I think I only have one, but you can leave like a couple empty in the front if you would like before you start taping them together to give you some, like if you want to do art or, you know, whatever you want to do to your journal. Decorate it, put some words on it. So I'm going to leave a few pages open to that. So I'm going to just skip a couple of pages over, 3 pages over. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take your page and you're going to take the page right next to it. So these, you're going to take 2 pages, right? Okay, and then you're going to take tape or staples, whichever you prefer. Stapler would work. I'm going to grab few pieces so I don't have to keep doing it, all right? And then I think I went 3 pages over, didn't I? Yeah, okay. And then I'm going to take those 2 pages, set these here. I'm going to take these 2 pages. Okay. And I'm going to put tape on the bottom of the book, like where it would be considered the side. So I'm going to put it right here. And my suggestion is to put either a long piece of tape or 2 shorter pieces of tape. So since I grabbed 2 shorter pieces, I'm just going to do it like that, right? And just fold it over, and then I'll show you how I did it so you can see. Here, tricky one here. So see how I taped it together. So it's already starting to form a pocket. So then you're going to do that on the other side. You're, yeah, wouldn't this, right now would be a great time to journal, wouldn't it? I agree. Okay. Find my piece. All right, and then I'm going to do the other side. Here. So for poking the holes, a crochet hook might work if you were using 2, if you were using, just doing 2 pages at a time, the thin little crochet hook would work. Okay, so I just messed my tape up, and I'm going to rip it off, and that's okay that I messed it up. I'm just going to grab another one, make this one long. Okay, do over. This is the tricky part. It's really kind of hard to get your tape on there without it wrinkling. Okay, now there we go, there we go. Okay, tape that, fold that up. And then, now what you've done is you've made a pocket. So now here's a pocket in your journal. And then next, you're gonna take another page and you're gonna put 1 page over, and then you are going to take a piece of tape and you're gonna put right in the middle, and I'll show you, of that. So you're gonna take this pocket, all right? You're gonna take 1 page and you're gonna pull it over, and then you are going to do it like this. So here's your pocket, right? There's your pocket. Then you're gonna take the other page of your pocket and the one that is not attached yet, and you're gonna stick your tape there, and you're gonna cause those 2 to be stuck together. So now what you're creating is multiple pockets in your journal. So can you see how that is now can you see how that is now attached to this? And then you're going to take another page and you're going to pull 1 page over, and then you're going to do what you did to the first 2 pages, and you're going to tape those 2 together. So let's grab another one. Is everybody following along? Here. And you want to do it all the way to the top, because if this is a pocket, you don't want to lose your special little items that you have stuck in there, right? So make sure you get it all the way to the top of the book. All right, and then do that on the other side with the 2 pages. If you're going to put teeny tiny little items in this, my suggestion would be put tape all the way as far as you can to the edge of the book by the bind, because otherwise your little teeny tiny things are going to fall out. All right, so now I have two little pockets here. Okay, and you know, I think I'm going to skip a few pages and I'm going to do it again. So skip a few pages, do it again. So I'm going to tape this together. Okay. Both sides. Now remember how you attach the two? Take that other page right there, pull it up to the two you just attached to, and you're going to tape one side of the pocket to the new page. What is going to be the next pocket? That makes sense? And I'll show you up close. So you're going to take your pocket, pull another page up here, and then tape that page to that side of the pocket. All right? And once you have that, you're going to pull the next page over, and you're going to tape those two together. All right, let me find it again. Here we go. Okay. And now you could do more than 2 pockets at a time. You could do, you know, 3 or 4. The other one, I think I have 3 at a time on there. All right. Okay. All right. So now I have a book with my pockets in it. And if I want to do more later, I'll do more pockets later. So once you have your pockets on, the next step, I think the next step is going to be, sorry, thinking about it for a second. The next step, I think maybe we should put on some paint. Maybe we should do some paint. Also, I forgot to say you need a water cup so you can rinse your brushes. I completely forgot about that. So I have my water paint pail right here, so that's what I'm using. Move these out of the way because I don't need all of them. Okay. All my paints. Okay, and now so the next step you're going to need is, remember you have your hairdryer, you're going to need that. The next step, all the way. Sorry, I got to clean up some of my area here. This is driving me nuts. And for those of you that are just joining, we're doing a sweet looking journal with pockets in it. Okay, so next step is to paint. Oh, I got water on that one, so I'm going to lift that off. You're going to want to paint your pages. Now for this, you want, you're going to want minimal paint on it. You want just enough to cover it, but you don't want it super thick. I mean, I guess you can if you want, but that'll soak the pages, so you gotta be careful. I try to keep my area not a mess because it drives me nuts. Okay, so we're gonna paint our pages now. You see how you can kind of see through that? Well, that's what we're gonna do. You're gonna take some pages and you're just going to start painting them. Now, I'm going to do my first page in white. And then what I want to do is, I'm going to add just a little bit of water to it to water it down a little bit. Just because my paint is super thick. And I want to water it down a bit. Also, in my previous video, I told everybody that when you mix your paint, you never want to mix with your brush. Because if you mix your paint with your brush, if you're mixing colors, those colors get kind of separated sometimes in your brush, and then when you go to do your actual art, it'll have streaks of different color and it won't be mixed up properly like it's supposed to. But since I'm not mixing color right now, I think I'll be okay to do that. So I'm just going to go ahead and mix with my brush because I'm not mixing colors. If I was mixing colors, that might be a little different. So add some water to it to make it a little more watery. You can also use, if you do painting anyway and you have gesso, you can also use gesso with it. And gesso is an item that you use medium that you use to cover up like your canvases, to prime your canvases. And you can use that too. All right, so I'm going to start painting my page. Cover the words. Now you can have the words where they're kind of showing. They don't have to be completely covered. I think that kind of makes it look a little cool where the words are kind of showing a little bit. So you can still kind of see that it's a book. You know what I mean? So we're going to paint the pages. And then here's where your hair dryer comes in handy. What'd you forget? Did you forget paint? You forgot the hair dryer? Okay, now since you have that, the next step is to dry. So move your paint out of the way so you're not blowing your paint water everywhere. And then you're just going to turn it on, dry it. That's pretty dry. And I think maybe I actually might want it a little whiter, because that, to me, it's not enough. So I'm going to go back over it again, and I'm going to paint a little bit more over it. Maybe leave some text showing through. All right. Okay, and then turn on the hairdryer again. Make sure you're not getting it in the water or paint. Okay. Got that. Now this is what it is. I have one painted page, all right? Then I'm going to move on to the next page. Now what I like to do is I like to color them. I like to color my pages different colors. If you can look through this one, you see all the different colors I have with my pages. That gives it a kind of cool effect. So I'm going to pick a different color to do on that page. And color do I want? Did you say pink? I think I heard somebody say pink. Pink. All right. Cut it off. And then let's do the next page. Can everybody see what I'm doing? Okay. Everything is in my way. Okay. Now, once this other page is dried, if you want, you can go back over and do the back, but I'm just not going to do that right now because it takes so long. I'm just going to paint these pages here. Remember, if you want, you can leave some text showing through if you'd like. Oops, make sure you hold your paper, because if you don't, it will move on you. All right, a little more. And then what am I going to do next? I'm going to use the hair dryer to dry it again. This one, the text really wants to show through. Okay, hair dryer again. I'm getting paint on my hair dryer. All right. Okay, and then so on and so forth. You can continue to paint your pages if you want. Now look, I had this ripped on me, so now I'm going to have to fix it. That's where I put that hole. So since I ripped that, I definitely don't want to tear that out because I just painted that page. So I'm going to try to fix it with a piece of tape. Hopefully. Oops. All right. So a piece of tape should fix it for you. I hope. Right there. Let me make sure I can poke that through. Yes, okay, I still can. All right, and then I need to tape that part to make sure it doesn't come off. Over to the next is fine. Okay, next we're going to, now this is what you got so far. Let me show you. Painted pages with your pockets. Don't forget you got your pockets. If you want to paint your pockets, you're more than welcome to do that too. And then the next thing is we're going to do our cover. So you're going to take your cover. Now, if you guys want to paint your stuff later, after this, you're more than welcome to. Okay, so we're going to take our cover and wipe my brush off here. Set that there. Okay. You're going to take your cover that we already did. You got to figure this out here. Let's see how much I'm going to need. This is not an easy thing to do, by the way, just so you know. So you're going to poke your string, yarn, lace, whatever it is you have, and you're going to pull it through that piece, right? And then here's the trickiness. The trickiness is getting it through all of these holes without ripping the book, which I already ripped part of the book, so I'm hoping that it's okay. So then I'm going to take my awl, or you could probably take the end of a small paintbrush if you need to try to poke this through that book. So little at a time, remember, little at a time, because you don't want to rip your book even more. So you're just going to start poking, poke and poke until you get it kind of through there. Keep going. And then you're going to feel that come out, right? So then what you can do is pull. Okay? And then do some more. Do that hole. Hope everybody can see me doing this. Do this hole. And I'll show you. I'm going to put the book up to the, okay. Now see how I'm doing this? See how I'm poking it through that hole right there? All right, and then you're going to grab it and you're going to pull on it. Really easy. Be easy, because if you're not easy, you'll rip your book. It sounds like my book is wanting to rip. Now see, if I didn't use lace, if I would have used yarn, it would have been a lot easier. Okay, and then do it again. A few more pages. I am so glad I have this book again, because if I cut it in half again, because it would have been really hard to get that through the whole thing. Find it. Where's it at? Oh, here it is. I'm having a problem finding that. I'm going to have to push this through again, because apparently I didn't push it through in the right areas. And sometimes you'll come across like a problem with it. That's okay. Just work with it till you get it through. Hope Hope I'm not ripping my book. Okay. And again. Now just think, you get to do this again. And if you did 3 holes, you get to do it 2 more times. Woohoo! Okay. Coming along. I'm thinking maybe I should have used yarn this time. Okay. Here. Just keep going. Oh, yep, I ripped part of my book. Easy peasy. Hopefully I can go back through and fix it like I did a while ago with the tape. It should be all right. And then just grab and pull. Well, it's giving me some problems. There we go. Okay. And again. And pull. Remember, if you have a hot glue gun, you can hot glue this straight to that cover. You don't have to worry about this step. And I have a hot glue gun, but I wanted to do it this way because I thought it was kind of cool. That's why I did it this way. But my book that I have is not done like this. It's hot glued to the cover. So either way, doesn't matter. Okay, so there's one. Now I've got one. I have one done. I still need another one. All right, and then you're going to take that and you're going to stick that through the cover, okay, where you poked your hole. So now you're going to be, now it's going to be holding on, right, like that. See that? Okay, and then you want to cut it off enough to where you have enough space to make like a knot or a bow or whatever it is, however you want to do it. All right, and then so you're just going to pull it around. I'm going to double knot it. Get nice and tight so the book is good to go. All right, and then I'm going to cut off these little pieces here. Shorten it a little bit. So that's how my first one is. I'm not doing the middle one because I didn't do that on the book. You got your first hole finally? That's cute. Okay, well, let's see this. Poke this through. Yeah, it's not easy, is it, City Museum? All right, and then you're going to do the same thing on this part. So you're just going to, it's going to be hard for me to like show this while I'm doing it, because the book is attached on the other side. So I'm going to do my best so that you can see. And I have a feeling it's not going to be too terribly easy to do. Okay. This project is a little challenging. Even for me, even though I made it, I still feel like it's a little challenging, even for me. Okay. And then keep going till you poke them through. Hope everybody can follow along all right. All right, grab it, pull it out. Okay, and again. Pull out. All right, there we go. Remember, don't want to pull too hard if you have a short string. I know, right? Good thing we are all grown up, because this is not an easy one. This one's kind of difficult, even for the grown-ups, I think. Not to mention, who wants to poke their fingers? Not me. Not me. All right, now I'm starting to get the hang of it. Once you do it a little while, you get the hang of it. For those who's just joining, we are making a journal. And if you're joining midway through, then you can always catch the video after this from the beginning on the City Museum Facebook page. And then you can follow along, rewind, whatever it is you need to do. But we're making a journal with little pouch pages so you can put little things in it. Right. And right now we are poking holes or poking the lace or string or whatever it is you have through the holes that we created earlier, which I'm having kind of a difficult time with because it's not wanting to go through. I think what's going on is I'm finding that where I poke the holes is not where I've got this all going through, so it's kind of like I'm making a whole other hole. Okay, and I'm almost done. Thank goodness. Okay, that was trying. Okay, next step. Now that I've got that all the way through, finally, then you want to poke it through the book again, the cover that you made. Pull it out the other side. Whoo! And tie it together. So now we're going to tie that together. Art is trying sometimes, but super rewarding when you're done. And then double knot it and cut it. I'm going to shorten these because I don't like the length of them. Okay, all right. Now, originally I was going to do 3, but I decided to only do 2 because I figured it was going to take a super long time doing it live for it to do that. So, okay. So now we have that done. Next step is we've painted our pages, which you can always go back later and paint more of them after I'm done. Then we poked holes in, put our cover on that we cut, and now we're going to take our magazines that we grabbed. So I have some magazines here. All right, and then I'm going to try to find words, okay, to put on my cover. Something that would make my cover look unique, or something that speaks to me, or something that, like, if I wanted this to be a recipe journal, then my holes didn't match at all. Yeah, I had problems with mine too, and I had to kind of remake some of them, so that's all right. You could go back after the video and fix it. So, you know, just find some words. You can do separate letters if you can't find words that you actually like. I just so happened to find words that I liked. With this one, I just so happened to find a whole thing. And that was perfect for me because it looks kind of like, it kind of looks like it come from Hobbiton. Okay, so I'm going to start looking for words. You need to start looking for words as well, or pictures, or whatever you want to put on the front to figure out what you want the name of your journal to be. So I'm going to look for some stuff here. What do I want on mine? You could even do like a face on there if you wanted. Picture of a face, or shoes, or if it's like a fashion thing, you could do purses or whatever. Okay. I think I want to do a fashion one this time. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this whole phrase that says the look, and I'm going to attach that to my book. There we go. This aside. I like that. And it's huge letters. It's kind of cool. All right. Now I think I'm going to cut around my letters because I like to do that. I kind of like to define it by cutting around them. So I'm going to do that. All right. Hope everybody's doing all right with theirs. All right. And then, well, I'm going to use tape because I didn't bring my Elmer's glue. So tape's going to have to do. And you know what? I'm going to use masking tape because, hey, that'd be kind of cool. Make it look like it's kind of just thrown on there. So, teeny tiny pieces here. Throw it on. And then let's do the other one. Cut out my word. Now what you can do is you can take your paint and you can paint the cover, which I'm going to show you all how to do here in a second. I hope I'm not going too long. Am I going too long? I am not in check with the time right now. Okay. Cut my words out. And this word is look. Oh, is it backwards? It's backwards. Okay. We do collage in Art City a lot. I have a project I'm going to do on another separate occasion that'll be collage in here that I'm thinking about. Okay, and then I'm going to attach the look to the cover too and make it look like the little tape is, I don't know, kind of just messy and all over the place. Okay, good. I'm glad I'm good. All right. So then you're going to attach it. I kind of, even though I didn't mean to use the masking tape on this, I think this actually turned out really cute. So I'm just going to tape it there. Looks kind of thrown together. Love that. Okay, and then you know what? I guess I'm going to go ahead and we'll paint the cover. I will paint around everything that I taped on. It'll be all right. Okay. Once I got that cut, I'm going to paint my cover. So put my tape aside for now. What color do I want to paint my cover? You know what color I like. So we're going to go with it. I'm going to mix the hot pink with the white. And remember what I said, use the end of your brush or a mixing, like a little palette knife or something if you need to. And not the brush itself. So I'm mixing the paint. I normally have a palette knife. It was sitting down there, but I don't know where it's at right now. My kitchen is a mess from being housed in here for almost 3 weeks. Okay, so here we go with this. Wipe that off. Set this aside. This over here. Move my magazines because I no longer need those right now. All right, and then I'm going to take my brush and I'm going to paint my cover. So painting my cover. And I'm just going to go around what I taped. So it'll be like a little brown outline from the cardboard or whatever. Now with my other book that I showed you, the paint that I did for that one was a watercolor base on top of the cardboard to give it that aged look. So if you want like an aged look to your book, that's fine. You can do that. The thing you would do is if you only have acrylic to do that with, then you would water the acrylic down a lot and then paint the cover. And that would give it that translucent look, because acrylic can sometimes look like watercolor if you water it down enough. And will give it that look, which I have done that before when painting canvases and things. You just water down your acrylic really good and it'll be really thinned out and kind of look like watercolor. And if I wanted to get fancy, I could take a sponge and I could sponge over this with a different color, which I don't have a sponge handy, but I do have a stencil brush, which I could maybe do. That might look cool. And then you know what you want to do. You want to take that hair dryer and you want to blow dry it when you're done painting it. Oh, this is cute. And then I'll show you once I'm done painting it. You can also do the bind if you want. All right, and then I'll show you what I got so far. Oops, got some paint on my paper. So that's what I got so far. And then maybe I'll add a little different color to it. Let's try it. Maybe I'll do some peach. I like peach. So this is, you just decide whatever colors you like and whatever colors you want to do, and then do it. There's kind of no rhyme or reason with it. You just make it, you know, however you want. So I'm using a stencil brush. If you have a stencil brush, you can use it. Oh yeah, I like that. Kind of gives it that 80s look, like that 80s journal. I'm not telling my age or anything. All right. Now look at that. That's so cool. That turned out really cool. Look at that. I do too. I like the pink too. All right. And then now you have that. Then the next step is you can also do the back if you want. I think I'm going to dry this just a little bit so that I don't get it all over the place. So dry it. And then what happened was when I dried that, my tape came undone. So I have to tape it back again. Okay. There we go. So that's what I got so far. It's dry now. And then later I'll go back over it and I'll do the back of it. But for that, now that's what I got. Now, the next step is for your white paper. You can either take and make your own tabs like I did with color pencils or crayons or markers or whatever you have. Or you can use string. So it would kind of give it this effect that I did. But you'd have to have other fabrics too to go along with it. So if you have a lot of fabrics and things that you grabbed, then you can do that also with these. And if you're using the fabrics, I personally would suggest with fabric to hot glue your fabric on and not try to like use the tape, or I mean you could maybe staple it on, but definitely not regular glue. You'd have to do hot glue or staples or something. And then so I use the paper. So I think for this I'm going to use paper also. Let me get this out of the way. Also, you could use, and this would be really cool, maybe I'll do this right now. You can make your own tabs, like I said, or here's the other thing. You can grab textures out of your magazines, cut those out, and you can add the little texture tabs onto your journal. So let's try that. So I'm going to move this out of the way here first. So space. Since I'm done with my paint for now. Oh goodness. There we go. Okay. Okay. Next, we're gonna do some magazine cutting. Move my other brush out of the way. Magazines. Here we go. Grab my magazines again. This can go here. Okay. Magazines. Or paper, if you want to do paper and color your own, you're more than welcome to do that. But I'm going to find textures in these. All right, so textures are really cool. I love texture. You can use textures for different things in here, and then it won't look like the thing that originally was. Pardon me. So I'm just going to look through and find something that I like, and then I'm going to cut it out and stick it on my book. I'll probably have to tape it because I have tape, remember? Or staples. I can do staples too. But you can also do just regular colors too if you wanted to do just regular colors. That sounds good. I think I'm just going to do a regular color. So I'm going to do a red. Cut this up. And then okay. Do a red. You could do a loop like. You could make it into a loop by folding it over. Just have like a little tabby loopy dealy. All right. Where's my tape right here? All right. So what I want to do is I want to tape it together first. And then once I get it taped together, then I'll go back and I'll tape it in the book. All right, and then you just pick a spot to put it. So I'm going to put this on the second page because the first page doesn't really need a tab. I mean, I guess if you want to put a tab on there, just pick a spot to stick it and stick it on there. I also like to use jewels and things like that on the pages, like buttons and stuff like that that I can add to it. But like I said, if I do any of that stuff, I want to definitely use hot glue with it because that will make it stick a lot better. Okay. And then let's see. So there's one tab. Got that. Let's look for another one. You want to think about color combinations too, like, okay, here's one right here. Think about color combinations and what the colors are going to look like next to one another. So this one here has got a little bit of something going on with it, and I kind of like the way it looks, so I'm going to cut this one, and I'm going to use it because it's really neat. It looks like it's a piece of a suitcase, a pink suitcase, but it's got texture on it, and I think that would look really cool. So I'm going to add that to it. On to the next page. Now, the trick is to not do one all the way down in order. I mean, I guess you could, but I kind of like when you space it out and make it look a little different. So I'm gonna this here. Okay, and I'm gonna tape it on. So I'm going all the way to the bottom with this one. Bottom of the next page. And incidentally, I think the next page is Is that my beginning of my, no it's not. Yeah it is. Okay, that's the beginning of my new, pocket that I did. So I'm just going to tape that to the bottom. Glue if you have it, you know. Hot glue if you have it, whatever. Or staples, you can use staples. Next one I'll do with a staple. Okay. I hope everybody's having fun with this project. There we go. Okay. So now I have two. I have two on. If the tabs are sticking out too much, you can always cut them. If it looks like it's too much, which I think this one is, so I'm going to cut that a little bit. And then on to the next. Another color. So that's how you do that. This color, this is a pretty color right here. Let's do this one. Okay. Here. I'm going to do another folded one. Tape it up. And then this will be the end of the tutorial. Just so you all could get an idea of how you do it. And it was fairly easy. It takes some time. And if you want to continue with the project, you will be so happy with the results when you're finished. And, you know, just sometimes accidents are great. If you accidentally do something, they turn out good. Okay. So I'm just going to put a tab here. And you just do it random. All over random. All right? Just random spots in your book. And then once you have all your pages done and all of your tabs on, it will look really so cool. So this is my example that I did to show you all how to do it. You can paint pictures in it, draw in it, put recipes in it, memories of places you go, what have you. So there's your little book, your journal, and I hope you all had a really good time. And come back and see me next week because I'll be doing a class every Monday through Thursday at 11, and then Thursday evening, like this evening, I'll be doing one at 7. And I hope you all had fun, and come back and join me again.